Today's lesson is delicious superfoods. Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Candice.
And I'm feeling good today, Candice. I had my broccoli, quinoa, salmon oatmeal this morning. It was horrible, but I feel so good. I ran here twice. You don't actually put all those foods together. We learned about those foods as superfoods yesterday, right? Salmon, broccoli, oatmeal, quinoa, all really good for you and can actually help prevent or fight certain diseases. But trying to combine all the superfoods into one bowl might be a mistake.
I think in Taiwan it is possible to get those oats. You do get the oats in the store, and you get savory oats.
Savory, so kind of salty.
Yeah, kind of
Not
salty.
sweet.
So you can mix in things like fish and vegetables. And those are usually in the form of porridge.
Okay.
So I think oatmeal and broccoli and salmon can be combined in a savory dish.
I could grind up the oatmeal, mix it with some spices, cover the salmon with it, grill the salmon with that nice sort of oatmeal breaded cover, eat it with broccoli, and I don't know how I get the quinoa in my diet. I'll have to find a way to do that.
Yeah, I need to figure out some interesting ways of incorporating the quinoa.
Or I can just listen to today's article because we have, 5 more items. I might find some great combinations of foods that I can put together and really have a superfood salad. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see what's up on today's list. So let's go and check that out now, and we'll be back to talk about it afterwards.
Walnuts. Much goodness is packed into walnuts, including nutrients that can decrease inflammation and support brain function. Walnuts are high in calories, though, so it may be better to eat just a handful a day to receive their health benefits.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 nutrient， 这个字是名词，表示养分、营养物质。例如 This soup is full of important nutrients that help keep you healthy. 这碗汤富含重要的营养成分，有助你保持健康。或是 A mother's breast milk has all the important nutrients a baby needs. 母亲的母乳含有婴儿需要的所有重要营养物质。另外补充这个字的形容词 nutritious. Nutritious, nutritious, 指有营养的或是营养丰富的。像是Olivia always prepares a nutritious dinner for her family. Olivia 总是为她的家人准备营养的晚餐。也可以说 To maintain a healthy body, you should exercise regularly and eat nutritious foods. 为了保持健康的身体，你应该定期运动和吃营养丰富的食物。
First up on our list are walnuts, right? So the sentence goes, much goodness is packed into walnuts, including nutrients that can decrease inflammation and support brain function. All good things, Mike. So firstly, the goodness is packed into walnuts. When we say something is packed into, we usually suggest that it's a smaller space and that there's a concentration of something. So in this case, there's a concentration of goodness in walnuts, which are rather small. They're not that big. They can fit in your hand quite easily. And these walnuts include nutrients that can decrease inflammation. So the nutrients, when they break down into things like minerals and vitamins and proteins, and they make energy, which helps us grow and develop. And they build our cells, they repair our cells, they help to maintain our health, they help us to breathe and so on. So the nutrients in walnuts are quite important in that process. And these nutrients, they then go on to help us decrease inflammation. Inflammation is a really natural process in our body. Usually when we cut ourselves or when we injure ourselves in some way, our body's response is inflammation. So maybe it will become red and swollen around the site where you might have hurt yourself, but that's just to show that that is part of the healing process. process. But there are also bad forms of inflammation, which is chronic inflammation, which is really bad for your heart. So this is the kind of inflammation that the nutrients in walnuts and similar foods help to decrease.
Interesting. Yeah, inflammation in any part of the body shows that something is not quite working there. And you're right, as we get older, I mean, also I think of like joint pain, right? Arthritis. Older people have problems and pain when they move in their arms and legs and elbows and knees and things like that. So all of this stuff can be helped with walnuts. Now, of course, none of these foods mean, hey, I'm eating that food, I don't need to see a doctor. No, you do, but these things can help. They're good, easy ways, healthy ways of just making your body feel better without more complicated solutions. There's another good thing about walnuts. They're high in calories, though. Oh, this is maybe not such a good thing. Walnuts are high in calories, though, so it may be better to eat just a handful a day to receive their health benefits. Yeah, we hear that often about nuts, right? They're healthy, they have good protein, they have good kinds of fat possibly, but they are high in calories. They can make you chubby just eating nuts all day. So eat a handful a day to receive their benefits, but do keep an eye on the number, the amount you eat, because the calories is a measure of food energy. It's a way we kind of judge how healthy or unhealthy a food is, how fat the food would make you. When we talk about the number of calories you should eat in a day, I think for an average man, it's around 2,500 calories will keep you nice and healthy. But then, of course, you might go to McDonald's and say, oh my gosh, that one hamburger has 900 calories, which is often the case. So that's why we shouldn't be eating fast food. We should be eating things like salad, which might have 100 calories instead of 900 calories, because more than 2,000 or 3,000 calories a day means you're putting on weight, you're gaining weight, you're getting fat. So have a few walnuts, but not too many. All right, let's take a break and we'll find out about more superfoods. And I think at least one of the next ones we'll hear about will probably make a lot of people quite happy.
Blueberries. The chemical compound that gives blueberries their rich, distinctive color also acts as a strong antioxidant, which protects cell walls and reduces the risk of cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. Dark chocolate. Just as high in antioxidants as blueberries, if not higher, dark chocolate is believed to promote cancer prevention, weight loss, and memory. Ideally consume 30 to 60 grams of dark chocolate daily and make sure it contains at least 70% cacao.
Okay, we are back with our next on our list of superfoods. The first one we come to, I think this is a classic. When anyone says superfoods, this is always the one that pops in my mind. I like them. I've liked them all my life. I buy them all the time. I think they're really great, tasty, and you can use them in lots of ways. I'm talking about blueberries, those berries that are blue. The chemical compound that gives blueberries their rich, distinctive color also acts as a strong antioxidant, which protects cell walls and reduces the risk of cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. So there you go. Blueberries, a classic superfood, and in fact, it is what makes them blue that is also what makes them healthy. This color, it is a strong antioxidant. Now, an antioxidant, it's kind of a complicated thing, but basically antioxidants protect your cells, and this can also protect your cells from being taken over by cancer cells. So, you know, things with antioxidants, and blueberries is a good example. I think certain types of fish can also be antioxidants. The idea is that these can kind of be cancer-fighting foods. They certainly can't hurt, and they might reduce your risk of cancer. Diabetes, that affects people when they have an unhealthy diet and their blood sugar levels are kind of out of balance. Diabetes can lead to real problems like losing your legs and going blind, but a lot of people do know how to live with it. But you do have to monitor your diet very, very carefully. And Alzheimer's, that's a brain degenerative disease. Older people might get it. You lose your memories, and eventually it will kill you. But it's a very sad disease that we've often heard about older folks getting when they just start forgetting everyone around them, and it can be a very slow way of dying.
Yeah, I've also always associated superfoods and blueberries. So that fruit is always synonymous with the word superfood. But also other berries. A friend of mine once said you should eat food with a lot of colors. So colors usually indicate that there might be some sort of health property or antioxidant property. I mean, if you think about tomatoes, they're red, raspberries, strawberries, they all have some sort of antioxidant property.
But natural color, right? Not that glowing orange cheese they put on nachos.
That's right. We're talking about natural colors. Natural colors,
Yes,
of
definitely.
course. That goes without saying. And the point about antioxidants is that they fight the effect of free radicals, something that is called free radical.
Free radicals.
So, such as cigarette smoke or air pollution that actually contribute to diseases like cancer and diabetes and Alzheimer's. So that is the benefit of the antioxidants. And of course, you want to protect your body as much as you can against things like diabetes. And some people are born with diabetes. Some people acquire diabetes due to their diet or
There's
other
different
reasons.
types of diabetes,
Yeah, there's
right?
type A and there's type B. But regardless of the type of diabetes, antioxidants do help to regulate insulin in the body, because somebody who has diabetes, of course, there's a problem with how much insulin is produced or how the insulin is regulating the sugar levels in your body. So, of course, that's a really great health property. And, of course, as you said, Alzheimer's is a really sad disease, but by eating foods with a lot of antioxidants, superfoods like blueberries, for example, you are actually boosting your health and also encouraging cell regeneration. So you're encouraging cells to regrow and to protect your brain cells. So you won't lose memory so quickly. You might not lose language as quickly as people with Alzheimer's do. And you might be able to avoid getting cancer.
All right, so the next food that we look at or we see in that list is dark chocolate. I told you there'd be a food on here that might make you happy. Yes, chocolate. It says just as high in antioxidants as blueberries, if not higher. Dark chocolate is believed to promote cancer prevention, weight loss, and memory. Well, if it does that, I will call it doctor, because it sounds very, very good for my body and my health. So it's as high in antioxidants as blueberries, if not higher. So it could be higher, but it's at least as equal as blueberries in its antioxidant properties. And it promotes cancer prevention, weight loss, and memory. And I guess some of those other things we saw, like diabetes, Alzheimer's, if it works in kind of the same way as blueberries, you also might get some of the protection from that. So how much of this fancy chocolate should we be eating?
Well, ideally, it says we should consume 30 to 60 grams of dark chocolate daily and make sure it contains at least 70% cacao. So dark chocolate is equal to blueberries in its antioxidant properties. So I guess we could combine the two and we could really have a super food then.
Ooh, there's an idea. Dark chocolate blueberries.
Yeah, let's put some in our oatmeal and then we have a super bowl of superfoods.
Better than putting it with the salmon. All right, we're going to look at the next two foods on our list right now.
Olive oil. A staple of the Mediterranean diet, olive oil may help reduce your risk of illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. It also contains vitamins E and K, which can protect against damage to cells. Green tea. Green tea contains rutin, a compound that strengthens the immune system and helps with blood circulation. Drinking green tea is also believed to help lower cholesterol, stress, and anxiety levels.
第三部分，我们看到动词 strengthen， 它的意思是增强、强化或是巩固。举例来说 ，Joe will need to strengthen his hands if he wants to get better at playing guitar。如果 Joe 吉他想弹得更好，就需要强化双手。或者 The countries strengthened their ties to each other by increasing trade。那些国家通过增加贸易，巩固了彼此之间的联系。另外补充这个字的名词 strength，strength，strength 指力量或是力气。例如 Fiona needed a lot of strength to get through the difficult time. Fiona 需要很多力量以度过那段困难时期。或是 I don't know if I have the strength to climb all the way up the mountain. 我不知道我有没有力气一路爬上山。接着我们看到单字 circulation， 这个字是名词，表示血液循环或是货物或商品的流通。举例来说 Because Kelly's circulation is bad, her hands are always cold. 因为 Kelly 的血液循环不好，所以她的手都是冰的。也可以说 Since the credit crunch, there are fewer credit cards in circulation. 由于信贷紧缩，流通中的信用卡减少了。另外补充这个字的动词 circulate, C-I-R-C-U-L-A-T-E, circulate, 指循环或是传播。像是 Some passengers don't like that an airplane's air supply is circulated over and over again. 飞机上空气供应会不断重复循环，许多乘客不喜欢这一点。或者 The virus is circulating around the community. 这个病毒正在那个社区传播。最后我们看到单字 anxiety， 这个字是名词，它的意思是焦虑不安或是焦虑症。例如 I'm feeling a lot of anxiety over my upcoming operation. 我对我即将到来的手术感到非常焦虑。也可以说 The girl still suffers from anxiety, but the new medication has eased her symptoms. 那位女孩仍然受焦虑症所苦，但新的药物缓解了她的症状。另外补充这个字的形容词 anxious, A-N-X-I-O-U-S, anxious, 指焦虑不安的或是紧张的。像是 Tammy often feels anxious, which causes her to have trouble sleeping at night. Tammy 常觉得焦虑不安，这使她晚上难以入眠。或是 Betty felt anxious as she waited for the final exam to begin. Betty 在等待期末考试开始时感到紧张。
Okay, we are back. And so for the final two superfoods we have for you, I think we're kind of going back to some classics. I never knew these might have been superfoods, but I've always known, or for a long time, that these are really healthy things. The first one, I think no one is shocked by this one. Olive oil. Yes, olive oil is very good for you, especially compared to vegetable oil and especially animal fat oil, lard, and things like that. Olive oil, a much healthier way of cooking and preparing your foods. It says a staple of the Mediterranean diet, olive oil may help reduce your risk of illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. Yeah, for sure. The Greeks knew this a long time ago. The Romans agreed. It's been a staple of the Mediterranean diet for millennia, for thousands of years, basically. A staple is something you eat every day. It's something that is a main key feature in your diet. When we think of staples, we often think of the grains that we eat, those foods that we grow, that we eat with almost every meal. It would be wheat and bread in the West. It would be rice here in Asia. It might be things made of corn in South America, typically. But you know, that kind of thing. If every meal you have a bowl of rice with it, then the rice is one of your staples for sure. So an olive oil has been a staple, a very common and a central feature of the Mediterranean diet. This is kind of the Greek diet. We're thinking of maybe not pizza or cheesy pastas, but things that are cooked a little bit more lightly, probably grilling your food, eating a lot of fish, maybe a little bit of chicken, a little bit of lamb, not a lot of red meat or pork, probably having a lot of fresh vegetables and salads and things like that, the kind of things you would find in a Greek, Turkish, Mediterranean type of diet. So very good for you. And it reduces your risk of illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. I cook a lot with olive oil, and my heart doctor's never been happier with me.
So generally in the Mediterranean diet, there's a really good balance of fruit and vegetables and nuts and heart-healthy fats,
right,
which is what olive oil is.
I think the Mediterranean diet and maybe the typical Japanese diet, I think doctors would both say those are two of the healthiest ways that you can eat, really.
I'd agree with that. And another benefit of olive oil is that it also contains vitamins E and K, which can protect against damage to cells. So I'm guessing that vitamins E and K are among the antioxidants that really protect your cells from damage from free radicals. Right. So overall, quite a beneficial oil to have in your diet.
Okay, great. So after olive oil, we'll move on to another classic, green tea. Yeah, green tea is very good for you. Green tea contains rutin, a compound that strengthens the immune system and helps with blood circulation. To strengthen is to make something stronger. You strengthen your health by eating well and exercise. You strengthen your relationships by spending time with the people in your life. And you can strengthen your muscles by lifting weights at the gym. And it helps with blood circulation. Circulation is when something goes in a circle. Basically, it's going round and around and around. And of course, our blood goes round and around our body, right? It goes into our heart, gets pumped into our lungs where we put oxygen in it, and then it goes to the various corners of our body and then all the way back again. Green tea can help.
Yeah, so a lot of people will drink coffee, but green tea is a way purer form, I suppose, of giving yourself a boost. It does give you that boost, same as caffeine in coffee, but it also, as you mentioned, has the added benefit of strengthening the immune system and, of course, assisting with pumping blood from your heart in a circular motion all through your arteries and through your veins and then back to your heart again. And then drinking green tea is also believed to help lower cholesterol, stress, and anxiety levels. What is anxiety? Anxiety is usually a feeling of nervousness, maybe some kind of uneasiness. It's quite an unpleasant feeling. And usually it's also associated with fear about something. Maybe we've got a big test coming up, so we'll feel anxiety about that. Or maybe we've got a personal problem that we don't know how to solve, so we might feel anxiety about that. So by drinking green tea, we might be able to reduce that level of anxiety. Of course, not only drinking green tea, but also doing exercise and maybe talking about our problem might help. But drinking green tea is one way to reduce our stress levels.
That's great, because you could get that energy boost, but without all the caffeine in coffee, because I know that the caffeine can actually increase anxiety levels, right?
That's right.
You might get that energy boost, but suddenly you're shaking and you're stressed and your heart's beating really fast. And that's the kind of thing you feel when you feel stress, nervousness, tension, and anxiety. So instead of having that coffee before the big event, try having a green tea. You might have more energy, but also feel nice and calm. All right, guys. Well, that's all the superfoods we have for you. I think we have a wonderful list here. Let's all go out, explore them, try them out for a month or two, consistently on your regular diet and see how you feel. Before then, though, we're going to have to go and check out our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第一部分提到核桃含有很多营养成分，包括能够减少发炎和维持大脑功能的营养物质。那文中用到 goodness 来指营养成分。 goodness 它其实有善良美德的意思，那也可以用来指营养养分精华，尤其是用来指食物当中的营养养分。好，那在我们看到课文它用到说 including nutrients that can 去表达包括能怎么样的营养物质。那这边我们是要来比较 included 和 inclusive 的用法。好， including 它是介系词，表示包含包括，那它的用法是 including 加上名词。举例来说， everyone including the principal enjoyed the speech。 所有的人包括校长都很喜欢那场演讲。那如果我们是用 included， 它是形容词，是形容包括在内的，被包括的，这时候它的用法则是名词加上 included。 像我们刚刚例句可以改成 Everyone, the principal included, enjoyed the speech。 再来呢 inclusive 则是形容词，那它的用法则是 inclusive of 加上名词，这是比较正式的用法。举例来说， The rent is inclusive of utility bills。 房租有包含水电瓦斯费。 好，那么课文第二部分提到，黑巧克力的抗氧化剂含量即使没有蓝莓高，至少也一样高，怎么样？好，文中它是用到 if not higher 来表达至少一样高。if 在这里呢，其实就跟 even though、although 意思相同，表达即使、虽然。那么 if not 它就带有即使没有什么什么，至少起码也有什么什么的那种意思。那最后我们则是要介绍这个抗氧化剂 antioxidant 它的字首字根。好，我们先介绍 anti 这个字首，有人念作 anti， 有人念作 anti， 它有反抗、反对的意思，常常会接在形容词或名词的前面。那么在 antioxidant 这个字当中， anti 表示对抗，那字根 oxide 表示氧化物，后面再加上名词字尾 ant 是指说促进什么什么作用者，合在一起 antioxidant 就表示抗氧化剂、抗氧化物。那我们顺便补充几个有相同字首的单字。第一个是 antibacterial， 它的字首 anti 表示反抗、反对， bacterial 是形容词，形容细菌的，细菌引起的，那合在一起 antibacterial 就是形容抗菌的。好，那么第二个补充的是 antibody， 我们知道 body 是身体，那么 antibody 就是抗体的意思咯。那么第三个 antivirus， virus 是病毒，那么 antivirus 就是防毒、防电脑病毒的意思了。那么第四个补充的是 antibiotic，anti 表示对抗嘛，那么这个字跟 bio 表示生命， tic 它可以是形容词字尾或是名词字尾，所以组合在一起 antibiotic 它当名词是指抗生素，当形容词则是表达抗生的、抗菌作用的。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Nutrient. Many sodas taste good, but they generally lack important nutrients. Calorie. A low-calorie donut sounds too good to be true. Strengthen. Kevin hoped the extra practice would strengthen his tennis skills. Circulation. Sitting for too long can result in poor circulation. Anxiety. It's natural to feel some anxiety on your first day at a new school.
Discussion starter starts now!
And now it's time for our question. Our discussion starter question is, which of the superfoods in the article would you like to try or eat more of, and why?
I'd like to eat more blueberries and dark chocolate because they're high in antioxidants, which reduce the risk of diseases, which we've already mentioned. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. And of course, that would extend our lifespan. So I'm all for extending my lifespan.
That's not a bad thing to go for, absolutely. Let's see, I'd like to eat more oatmeal in order to feel better. So that's why. It has nothing to do with superfoods. It's just, I haven't had that in a while. I'd like it. Hopefully I do really like it, because then it would be part of my diet. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I'm Candice.
See you next time.